Welcome to your Central Iowa home with Misty Soldwish from RE/MAX Innovations. Brought to you in part by Country Financial, Laser Electric and Plumbing, Ameriserve Radon Mitigation of Iowa, Right Way Home Inspections, Miller Pest and Termite, the Simmons Mortgage Group and Wintrust Mortgage, and the Misty Soldwish team, the #1 RE/MAX home selling team in all of Iowa. Here's Misty.
Welcome to your Central Iowa home. I'm Misty Soldwish from RE/MAX Innovations. I lead a top-selling, innovative real estate team here in Central Iowa and the #1 RE/MAX team in the state. Whether you're looking in the city, the suburbs, or an acreage in the country, my team and I have the experience and knowledge necessary to pair home sellers and buyers together for the right opportunity. Here on your Central Iowa home, we'll talk with some of our neighbors that represent many of Central Iowa's finest businesses. You'll learn a few tips about things to look for when you're buying a new home, things you may want to take care of before selling your current home, and if you're planning to stay where you're at a little while longer, tips to make that house a home. This week on your Central Iowa home, we'll have Adam from Right Way Home Inspections, Joel Miller from Miller Pest and Termite, and Chuck Simmons from the Simmons Mortgage Group at Wintrust Mortgage. We'll be right back with Adam McCarty from Right Way Home Inspections right after this.
Because buying your new home is one of the most important decisions of your life, you need a thorough evaluation by a certified home inspector. You need Adam McCarty from Right Way Home Inspections. Adam's a licensed electrician and after gaining certification has taken continuing in-person and online education. From the basement to the attic and all floors in between, you'll get a comprehensive report including photos and video. Get your home inspected the right way with Adam McCarty from Right Way Home Inspections. Find Adam online at rightwayhi.com.
Iowa has a radon problem. 5 out of 7 Iowa homes have dangerous levels of radon. Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in the U.S., and the entire state of Iowa is considered at high risk for radon in homes, according to the EPA. Ameriserve Radon Mitigation can help. Our professional team can test your home's radon levels and help remove this deadly gas. We're fully licensed and insured, and offer a 200% guarantee. January is Radon Action Month. Take action now. Call Ameriserve Radon Mitigation today.
I have Adam McCarty here from Right Way Home Inspections. Adam, tell me a little bit about your background and about the company.
Well, I'm a licensed electrician. That's what I've been doing for a lot of years. I just decided that I wanted to get into home inspections because of the home inspections I'd had done on my own home, and then also my family and friends, I'd seen some of their home inspections, and then even went out and looked at their houses, and I just was like, I can do a better job than this. Mm-hmm. And so I decided to get into it and started my company. I'm a one-man shop right now, and just excited to be doing it.
Yeah, that's great. So typically when I'm having a home inspection done for a buyer, the buyer joins us. What kind of timeline does a buyer need to expect of what it's going to take to get an inspection done?
Typically anywhere from 2 to 3, sometimes even longer, depending on the house. 2 to 3 hours, because some of these older homes, there's just a lot of intricate things you have to look at. I mean, it takes time.
So when you do a home inspection, is there a certain order that you go about? What's the first thing you do? Yeah,
the first thing I always do is look around the outside of the house. It really tells me a lot about problems that I might see inside. If I see a lot of grading sloping towards the house, I'm going to be looking very closely in the basement for water intrusion. It's typically, if you have water coming in the house, it starts on your outside, the solution. Mm-hmm.
So when you're going through the home inspection process, what are you educating the buyer on as you're going through?
I try to tell them like a lot of the little maintenance things that they might have to do, stuff that's not necessarily in my report because it's just, like I said, it's just maintenance stuff that comes with every house. You know, something as simple as changing their furnace filters every month, or, you know, checking caulking around windows and tubs and those kind of things. Mm-hmm.
So when you go to the inside of the home, you start from the basement and work your way up, or what's the best way to go about it?
No, actually, I start on the main floor. Well, like I said, I start on the outside, then I go to the main floor. I look around the whole main floor. Then I usually do the second floor and then the basement, and lastly I get in the attic.
Okay. So what exactly are you looking for on that main floor?
I'm looking for anything that might give me signs that there might be some foundation issues or anything like that, but also any electrical issues or mechanical issues where you don't feel air coming out of vents or that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Any other things that you're looking for that are red flags as you go through that home?
Anywhere there's water, if there's not GFIs present for safety protection for the outlets, so bathrooms, garages, anything above the countertop in the kitchen, I'm looking in all those places for a GFI outlet.
So when you go into the basement, looking at the electrical panel, are there certain things you're looking for there?
Yeah, the biggest things are especially if it's an old house, is some of the panels. There are panels that are proven fire hazards, such as Federal Pacific panel. Also, I'm looking for aluminum wiring in some older houses. That again is another fire hazard if it's present in a house. It can be fixed fairly easily, but it's definitely something you want to watch out for.
Sure. Do you check on the heating and cooling systems?
Yeah, I always look at the heating and cooling systems. I take all the front panels off, all the maintenance panels that you would normally take off as yourself, and make sure I watch them burn. I'm looking for a nice blue flame on natural gas flames, and just look at everything, make sure everything looks good, no rust. Looking at age also.
So why do you go to the attic last?
I go to the attic last because typically, especially in the summers, hot, sweaty, dirty, and I don't want to drag that through the whole house the rest of the inspection. So
that makes sense. So when someone goes through a home inspection with you, what kind of report do they receive?
Mine are all electronic, so they get an email directing them to a website to log into, and that report can be, 50 plus pages. I typically take anywhere from 60 to 150 is probably the max pictures I've taken in a home. Just depends on the home and what I find.
So what do you think is the best thing about doing home inspections?
To me, it's the helping the buyers to know exactly what they're getting into. That's what my job is to, buying a house is always a stressful time period, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. My job is to try to take as much stress off of them, knowing what systems maybe are going to be their first thing that they're going to have to address, or if they don't have anything to address, then it's great for them. So
right. So tell me a little more about what you think is different about Right Way home inspections.
Well, first off, I did a lot of training before I even started doing any home inspections. I went up and did a week-long course in person in Minneapolis. Most home inspectors in Iowa, because there's no certification required by the state, do an online course. And I've done online course training too, and it's just not the same as the in-person training.
Well, you had a lot of construction knowledge
before
too.
Yes, but I still learned a lot.
Right.
I mean, you can spend a lot of years in the construction industry, but you never know everything.
Right. Okay, so sometimes people think, maybe I'll just have my dad come and look. Is that okay for some people to do?
It's nice to have an independent person that you're paying that gives you a professional report, because then if they find problems, you can use that as negotiating terms for after the inspection's done.
Right.
So.
Well, thank you so much, Adam. This was really great information and just fantastic to learn about.
All right, thank you.
Next up is Joel Miller from Miller Pest and Termite.
It's starting to get cold, and you're not the only one that wants to stay warm. Mice and other rodents might find their way into your home. You don't want them, so call Miller Pest and Termite. Those creepy, crawling things, spiders, ants, and other bugs, Miller will help control them too. Winter, spring, summer, fall, just give Miller Pest and Termite a call. 518-8864. They'll get rid of those pests inside and outside your home. Learn more at millerthekiller.com. That's millerthekiller.com.
Country Financial wants to know, do you feel in control of your financial future? No,
Sort of.
but I have the desire to be in control of my money.
I need a plan.
At Country Financial, our goal is to work with you to lay out a step-by-step plan of insurance and financial solutions to help you regain control of your financial planning, to help you own your future.
Understanding is empowering.
In Central Iowa, Country Financial's Rob Keller will help you own your future.
And now we have Joel Miller from Miller Pest and Termite. Hi, Joel.
Hi, Missy.
Hi. Tell me a little bit about Miller Pest and Termite and your background and what your company does.
Yeah, so my dad started the company back in 2001, and I joined about 10 years ago, and the rest is kind of history. But we do pest control, termite, bed bugs, a little bit of everything, I guess. So.
Oh, great. So when someone calls, is it because they have a specific problem generally?
Usually, all of our current customers, they've previously had a company, or they tried to solve their own problems, and it didn't seem to be doing the trick. And so usually what we'll do is people will call us out. Sometimes people want us to just come out and spray, but really what we need to do is go out and inspect the property first. We need to check the interior and the exterior and really know what pests are on that property. And so once we understand what pests are there and the biology, that kind of tells us why they're there in the first place. And so once we understand that, we have a better way of knowing what we need to do. But we also need to inspect the inside and outside and check overall for conducive conditions, and that could be, let's say your gutters aren't getting the water, far enough away from the house. You have, a tree branch overhanging, siding below grade. There's a lot of different things that can cause pest issues. So we really need to know all of those things to really address, the situation and really come up with a plan, of attack for that particular property. So it's not as simple as just going out and doing a treatment. There's a lot of steps involved, and inspection is probably the most important thing, rather than buying a gallon of product and just going around spraying. It's a spray. That's why they call it a spray and pray. That's exactly what you're doing. So.
Right. So are termites a problem in Iowa?
Yeah, termites, so there's about 3 to 4 colonies per acre here in Iowa, so it's a pretty common issue. And so we find them, when we go and inspect homes, normally about 1 in 10 homes will end up finding termites in, but just like pests, we're also looking for conducive conditions when we're dealing with termites. So, if you have your siding below grade, you could have some sort of a moisture issue. So that's kind of what we're looking at first, or even, wood piled up right next to the house. So we're looking around the perimeter generally first to kind of see what's going on there. And then but one thing that's kind of cool with our company is there's really only a few companies around that are able to use the newest technology, which is Centricon. Basically what that is it's a perimeter bait system that's about every 10 foot around the perimeter of the home, and the termites will run into these stations. The average, or a bigger size termite colony will have 5 miles of actual termite tunnels, which is a lot of little tiny movements. And so pretty quickly they're going to run into those bait systems and start feeding on the bait, and they're going to transfer that product throughout the colony pretty quickly. And it's a lot better for the environment. We don't have to pump hundreds of gallons of chemicals in the ground. And it's also won the President's Green Award. So we like to, the more ways that we can help the environment and create a better future for everyone. That's kind of what we're trying to do. So
do you deal mainly with wood destroying pests, or are there other pests that you treat?
Yeah, so we kind of do a little bit of everything. Really, just general pest control is kind of one of the biggest things that we get calls for. But we do get quite a few calls for the termites, carpenter ants, those sort of things.
Mm-hmm. So do you generally deal with one-time, more of a spot treatment, or do you recommend ongoing maintenance? Yeah,
that's a really good question. So, and it kind of goes back to the inspection, and that's why it's so important to be able to know what the conducive conditions are, to know what the pests are. If you have a house that that leaves are always falling, or a lot of different things that are bringing pests up to the house, or let's say you can't get the customer to trim back the bushes, things like that. That's going to create more pest pressure. And so if everything aligns just perfect and you're dealing with a pest that you can do a one-time treatment, we do many times we're doing a one-time treatment, but you really can't tell without being on the property and really doing an inspection and seeing what really needs to be done, and then you can come up with a plan. So it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what kind of things does someone expect when they do a service contract with you?
Yeah, so what we do that's unique compared to all of the companies around us is we do include every residential service we do. It includes termite monitoring, rodent stations, so that'll help keep the pressure off of the house for rodents. Usually the rodents are going to, especially now that it's getting cool out, they're going to be moving up to the house and trying to gnaw on different areas and trying to make way into your home. So the rodent stations will help keep the rodent pressure off in the first place. And then we also remove spider webs, wasp nests, and include a lot of different pests like indoor fleas, yellow jackets, roaches, a lot of different pests that other companies are going to charge you extra for.
So do you provide any warranties or guarantees when someone uses your services?
Yeah, so for like an ongoing type of a customer, if they ever do have any issues between services, we'll come back at no charge. We're mainly, we try to spend quite a bit of time doing a proper inspection and treatment and taking care of all these conducive conditions from the get-go. That way people aren't going to have issues. But if they do have an issue between services, we never charge anything for that, and we're super happy to get back out there right away to make sure that we get all of our customers taken care of. So
and all in a little family-owned company.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah,
I,
thank
for
you.
one, am very appreciative for the pests that you deal with. So thanks for the information.
Thank you very much.
Up next is Chuck Simmons from the Simmons Mortgage Group at Wintrust Mortgage.
Trust the Simmons Mortgage Group at Wintrust Mortgage for all of your home financing needs. Our team of experts will guide you through all the stages of the mortgage process while providing world-class customer service. We take pride in educating buyers on all available options so that you can make an informed decision that will best suit your unique situation and meet your financial goals. Call us at 225-6935. At the Simmons Mortgage Group, we understand that it's much more than a mortgage. It's your home.
I've had this big problem.
Big problem.
Really big problem.
Electricity.
I don't do electrical.
Scares me to death.
And it scares me to death.
Who did I call?
Laser. Laser.
Laser Electric and Plumbing.
Laser got everything working great.
Clean cut.
Friendly.
Same-day service.
They're always on time.
I trust them.
For anything electrical and plumbing.
Laser Electric and Plumbing.
247laser.com. They know their stuff.
Now I'm joined by Chuck Simmons from the Simmons Mortgage Group at Wintrust Mortgage. Chuck, it's so nice to have you here. And
thanks for having me.
Tell me a little bit about yourself and your background and your team.
Sure, sounds great. As you said, I'm with the Simmons Mortgage Group at Wintrust Mortgage. I've been in the business for almost 20 years. I've been with Wintrust for about 5 now. Wintrust is a division of Barrington Bank, so we are a bank. We're the mortgage division of the bank. And then in that role, I am a market manager, so I run all the branches in Iowa and then Nebraska. And then we have, with Simmons Mortgage Group, I also lead a team that works with families through the home buying process. So, and one of the things, one of the main things we do there is we'll work with buyers, we'll kind of explain all the options. I kind of like to say we're a full service lender. And what that means is we've got a lot of different things that we can offer as far as first time home buyers, condo financing, really you name it and we can do it. So, we're...
So, are there any sort of special grants that are available in this area for first-time home buyers?
Yeah, there are grants available. You don't even have to be a first-time home buyer. So the Iowa Finance Authority has a lot of programs out there that work for first-time home buyers and move-up buyers. Included in that is a grant, like a $2,500 grant that can be used for down payment or closing costs. They also have a $5,000 grant for veterans. So for qualified veterans, anyone who has served for 90 days since 9/11 of 2001, they may qualify for up to $5,000, which can also be used for down payment or closing costs. So
that could be huge.
yeah, it's great, and so that helps a lot of first-time home buyers. And like I said, it works for move-up buyers. Not every lender can offer that, so that's something that people need to know is if they're working with a lender, make sure that if they're interested in those grants that they're finding out if they're an IFA participating lender. They can go right to IFA's website, which is www.iowafinanceauthority.gov, to find out who those participating lenders are and make sure that they have all those options available.
But you are one of them.
Yeah, we are a participating lender.
So what are some tips when someone is thinking about getting ready for that pre-approval process?
Sure. The first thing is in the process, altogether, what they'll want to do is look at getting pre-approved. That sort of sets the stage for what somebody can qualify for. And what we will do is we'll sit down with them. They'll want to pull credit, so that we can. Credit right now is such a big determining factor in everything from programs to rates that we'll want to sit down and kind of go through that and find out, when we sit down with them, we'll find out what they're comfortable with as far as either a purchase price or more importantly, a payment range. And what borrowers should be doing is looking at it. We have what I call kind of do's and don'ts. They're going to want to gather all the information that they can, pay stubs, taxes, W-2s, bank statements, things that are going to help the lender be able to determine what they really qualify for. And then, there's also, they're going to want to make sure that they are staying away from any large purchases right ahead. We see that a lot, where, we'll be in the middle of a process and somebody will buy furniture or they'll buy a car. And that just makes it more difficult and sometimes can really, hurt the process.
Yeah. So when someone gets an official pre-approval from you, how long does that last?
Typically 90 days, but with that being said, a lot of the documents we would need to refresh. So if it takes, over 30 days or 45 days, we will talk to our buyers and we will make sure we might need an updated pay stub, we might need an updated bank statement. But the pre-approval itself is good for 90 days. Credit reports last typically 120 days. So if you have somebody who's just at the very beginning stages, we'll get them pre-approved. We'll make sure that they can go out and look with confidence, but we might have to refresh some things or possibly pull credit if they're 6 to 9 months down the road.
What about if someone has some credit challenges?
Sure. We've got a few different things that we do with people with credit challenges, and we work with a number of them. First thing that we'll do is if they're just not ready to buy yet, if whatever is on their credit is either too recent or just something we need to work on, we'll sit down with them and we'll develop a plan. And I'll give them a best guess as far as if it's a 3 to 6 month plan, 6 to 9 month. In some cases it may be 12 months or more. And we'll give them a list of things that they should be doing, and then we'll stay in contact with them just to make sure and check the progress and see how things are going. We also have something, a credit simulator, a scenario where we're able to actually, work with the buyer and sort of run some, different hypothetical situations with their credit, which would show us, what their score could improve to if they made some changes. Most common one would be if they, if they have their balances are real close to their limits on credit cards. That makes a big difference on their credit score. So what we can do is show, okay, if you paid down to this certain amount, here's how your credit score would rise. And so what we see with that, we've had people where it's only taken, anywhere from a few weeks to a few months to improve their credit to the point where maybe they didn't qualify before and now they do. We also have buyers who qualify now, but they like doing that simulator because it can help improve their credit score and actually help them qualify for either lower rates or get them, a better rate on mortgage insurance if they have to pay mortgage insurance.
So education's a huge component to what you do then.
Yeah, definitely.
So what if someone is building a new home and it might be 6 months out or so before they're able to close?
Right. We've got a few different things. You know, first of all, we'd get them pre-approved now. We'd go through the normal pre-approval process. If they have that purchase agreement, if they're doing new construction, we will get everything started. There's not a lot we can do when they're that far out, as far as sometimes it's too early to do an appraisal. You know, we'll start the underwriting process, but we know we're going to need to refresh all of those documents. We're going to need to pull new credit. We're going to have to do all of those things. So we'll get that process started for them, and then we will just monitor and make sure that, you know, everything we can do up front we're doing, and then sort of have a timeline for as we get a little bit closer to make sure everything else falls into place.
So anything that can be done to protect the interest rate?
There are programs out there that allow for an extended rate lock, and you know, so you could lock rates actually for up to 360 days.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, so, and with that, the way that will work is we would take what, you know, a normal rate is today for, say, 60 days. There are a few add-ons to it. As far as cost, it depends on how long you're going for, but it would, you know, look at possibly, you know, there might be some additional cost to it.
But it can be done.
But it can be done.
That is fantastic information, and really appreciate that education that you give to clients.
You bet.
Thank you so much, Chuck.
Thank you.
Because buying your new home is one of the most important decisions of your life, you need a thorough evaluation by a certified home inspector. You need Adam McCarty from Right Way Home Inspections. Adam's a licensed electrician, and after gaining certification, has taken continuing in-person and online education. From the basement to the attic and all floors in between, you'll get a comprehensive report including photos and video. Get your home inspected the right way with Adam McCarty from Right Way Home Inspections. Find Adam online at rightwayhi.com. It's starting to get cold, and you're not the only one that wants to stay warm. Mice and other rodents might find their way into your home. You don't want them, so call Miller Pest and Termite. Those creepy, crawling things, spiders, ants, and other bugs, Miller will help control them too. Winter, spring, summer, fall, just give Miller Pest and Termite a call. 518-8864. They'll get rid of those pests inside and outside your home. Learn more at millerthekiller.com. That's millerthekiller.com. Trust the Simmons Mortgage Group at Wintrust Mortgage for all of your home financing needs. Our team of experts will guide you through all the stages of the mortgage process while providing world-class customer service. We take pride in educating buyers on all available options so that you can make an informed decision that will best suit your unique situation and meet your financial goals. Call us at 225-6935. At the Simmons Mortgage Group, we understand that it's much more than a mortgage. It's your home.
Thank you for watching Your Central Iowa Home. Today we spoke with Adam McCarty from Right Way Home Inspections, Joel Miller from Miller Pest and Termite, and Chuck Simmons from the Simmons Mortgage Group at Wintrust Mortgage. I'm Misty Soldwish from RE/MAX Innovations. Whether you're looking in the city, the suburbs, or an acreage in the country, my team has the experience and knowledge necessary to help pair sellers and buyers together for the right move. Call us today.
Your Central Iowa Home with Misty Soldwish has been brought to you by the Simmons Mortgage Group and Wintrust Mortgage, Miller Pest and Termite, Right Way Home Inspections, Ameriserve Radon Mitigation of Iowa, Laser Electric and Plumbing, and Country Financial. For more information, email us at yourcentraliowahome@gmail.com.